Alright guys, so that was the infamous but absolutely hilarious NBA championship parade that happened last year in Chicago, in which nobody showed up to it at all. Now again, I'm pretty sure you guys all remember, it was hilarious. Nobody showed up, right? Like nobody was there. Nobody cared about the WNBA, and it seems like their woes are continuing as even the All-Star game. Nobody seems to care about it either. In fact, more people watched a hot dog eating contest. They were more interested in a hot dog eating contest than they were in watching the WNBA All-Star game. In fact, the WNBA All-Star game, or put it this way, the WNBA is struggling so much that the trophy that was awarded to the MVP of the All-Star game was so small that it was hilariously mocked online.
The prestigious MVP award goes to Kelsey Plum!
Look over here, please. Look over here.
You can keep it. You don't have to give it back. Kelsey Plum, everybody!
Look down.
Can you lower the trophy? It's covering your face.
Right? It looked like a mini trophy. Okay? Is the WNBA that broke? Right? Are they that broke? Are they not making that much money that the best trophy they could give to the All-Star MVP was a tiny trophy that looks like the trophies that you give to a child for winning their rec league baseball championship or something like that, right? I mean, even those trophies are bigger than this, right? Even those trophies are bigger than that, okay? But hey, now that I think about it, I mean, the WNBA isn't that popular, right? Nobody goes to their games. Nobody cares about WNBA. They don't make that much money. So, I mean, maybe they deserve a small trophy like that, right? I mean, a lot of people are saying that how in the world is the WNBA getting such a small trophy compared to the NBA that has a much larger trophy, right, for their All-Star MVP. And I'm like, well, you know, it is embarrassing, but at the same time, I mean, the NBA has more fans. They make more money, right? Maybe they can afford a better / bigger trophy. I mean, if you want a bigger trophy, maybe you should, I don't know, become more entertaining, right? Get more people to watch the WNBA, right? Maybe at that point you'll get a bigger trophy and people actually care. But no. Of course, according to the wokes, it must be sexism, right? It doesn't have anything to do with performance, how much money the league makes, can they actually afford a good quality big trophy, or how relevant the sport is, anything. No. It's sexism, right? That has to be the reason why the NBA trophy is much bigger than the WNBA trophy. So the WNBA should be embarrassed. And we're talking about this because Bill Burr, who's a comedian, came out in a recent Netflix special and actually ripped feminists as the reason for the WNBA's woes. And I think that he is 100% on point when discussing the real reason why the WNBA is failing. Because on paper, there's so many feminists in this country. There's so many people that claim to support women so much that the WNBA should be thriving, right? They should be thriving. However, that is not the case. They are still struggling. So before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know I am sick. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, and I apologize if I sound weird, okay, if I'm coughing, I'm sniffing or whatever. I don't know if I have COVID. Maybe I have a common cold. I don't know. I'll go get it checked out at some point. And I also want to let you guys know that if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can do so using the links in the description below. You support the Patreon, you support the PayPal, you support the merch. There are multiple ways to support the channel you'd like to do so, including getting yourself one of my signature racist mugs, which is a daily reminder of the 2022 definition of racist according to the left, which is anybody who disagrees with the Democrat Party. Or you can get yourself one of my shirts like this one that says "End Woke Supremacy." So without further ado, let's play this clip of Bill Burr roasting feminists and blaming them for why nobody goes to WNBA games and why they're struggling so much, despite all the support that the feminists are supposed to be giving to the women in this country. Take a look.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. Oh, now it's gonna get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God. That's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating. Keep eating.
And to expand on what Bill Burr said during his comedy special, he said, quote, "Look at the WNBA. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century, not to mention it's a male-subsidized league." Burr says during the Netflix special, quote, "We gave you a league and none of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists, faces painted, wearing jerseys, going effing nuts like the guys do." He says, quote, "None of you went to the effing games. You failed them, not me, not men. Women failed the NBA. Ladies, name your top 5 WNBA players of all time." Said Burr, "Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your city. You can't do it." Quote, "That's the message you send. We'd rather watch that than a bunch of women come together as a team and try to achieve a common goal. We'd rather watch them absolutely effing destroy each other," Burr pointed out. And then in the end, you come back and you yell at effing guys. Yeah, so Bill Burr there is 100% on point, and that is honestly comedic genius, right? Because, he's right about two things, right? In the sense that you have feminists out here who claim to support women so much. However, none of them show up to WNBA games. And these same people want to complain about things like the wage gap. Well, why isn't WNBA players getting paid as much as NBA players, right? It must be sexism. It can't have anything to do with the fact that even feminists, women like themselves, don't watch WNBA games. They're not interested in women's basketball. They don't support women's sports. Can't be that. It must be because of sexism, right? So much so to the point that they want men's sports. They want men's sports leagues to subsidize women's sports leagues, and they're trying to call that equal rights, right? When the reality is what they actually really want is special rights, okay? They want men to subsidize women and then pretend like men and women are equal when that's just not the case, at least when it comes to the fact that you have men that are basically carrying women, right? If you want true equality is letting women succeed or fail on their own, the same way that you let men succeed or fail on their own, right? If a woman's sport was making more money than men's sport, for example, I don't see women's modeling subsidizing men's modeling or anything like that, right? I don't see female-dominated industries subsidizing men, right? Or going out of their way to talk about how men should have equal rights, okay? I don't hear that. But again, when it comes to sports, particularly, again, the WNBA, these people make such a big stink about the fact that the men and women aren't paid the same. And it's like, well, if you want them to be paid the same, then you should support them, right? You should support them, okay? But they won't support them. They refuse to support them, okay? And it's kind of the same reason why, these people, and it's not necessarily particularly the feminists, but I'm talking about some people in the LGBTQ community, they're so vehemently against trans people competing amongst themselves in sports. Well, the reason why is because they all know that that's the actual reasonable solution. However, they don't want to do that because that means they will have to support them. That means that they will have to show up and watch trans sports. You have to watch trans people compete against each other, and they don't want to do it. They don't want to watch it, right? They don't want to support it. So therefore, they want to force biological men to compete against biological women, essentially damaging women's sports even more, right? Because they know that they don't have to watch that. Like, they will never watch it, right? They already don't watch women's sports. Having trans people compete against women doesn't matter to them because they already don't watch women's sports, right? They don't care. Again, it's amazing how that works. But if they supported women's sports the same way they support other kind of feminist causes, for example, like fat acceptance, the WNBA will be making more money than NBA. I mean, think about it. We've gotten to the point now where we allow plus size models on magazine covers, right? We are praising women and elevating women because they're fat, right? Because they are obese, right? And the reason why is because you have all these women who don't want to look like those women. By the way, they don't want to look like those women, but they praise those women because they think that, well, that's just how you support other women. They want to support some women, right? And some of their movements, and then other stuff they don't really want to support, which again kind of blows my mind. How is it that some women's movements get support? And again, we're talking about something like, again, fat acceptance, which is not good, right? It's not healthy, right? For the individuals that are overweight. They're totally fine with pushing that, trying to push that on mainstream society, supporting those people, making those people rich. But when it comes to WNBA, right, actual sport, something competitive, something good for women to do, to compete in, nah, you know what, we're just not really going to show up to the games, right? We're not going to buy their merchandise. We're not going to come to their parades. We're not going to do any of that stuff. Again, it's absolutely amazing how that works, right? And then they turn around and they blame men. You men are the problem, right? Not us, not the people that have allowed us about this, but the men, okay? The reason why these people are getting paid enough is because of sexism, right? Again, it's absolutely hilarious. And I think that Bill Barr was on point there with his little, comedy skit or whatever, saying, that calling out feminists for not supporting the WNBA, because that truly is the reason why they're struggling, because people that claim to support them the most don't even want to support them, right? They don't even want to come to the games. They don't want to buy anything. They don't want to do any of that stuff, which explains why, right, the WNBA can't even afford to buy a decent trophy for the All-Star MVP, right? But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.